What's good, guys? Your boy, Mr. Old School Rider. Come back at you from the Riders Book Club. Of course, the C Award nominated podcast radio for radio show and podcast of the year. I want to give out a special shout out to the people. They're doing their thing out there in the arts and books and letters and things like that. Have a very special guest. I have Mr. Jaystyles. He going to tell us how to be inspired to write a book and other things like that. What's going on, Jay?
Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, man?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Can't complain, man. Can't complain. I'm blessed.
Yes, sir. We do appreciate you for coming through here tonight. So tell us a little bit about yourself here, Jay.
Well, so I'm an author. I'm a producer. I'm a writer. Yeah, man. So my background goes as far as into radio and entertainment hosting. So I'm pretty much a jack of all trades, man. But currently, right now, man, I'm an author and I'm a producer. I'm a writer.
Oh man, that's what's up right there. I like that, man. I like seeing my brothers out there doing their thing, inspiring others to do the right thing. So how long
Absolutely.
you been an author?
So I published my book in August 9th, 2021. And yeah, man, it was a long time coming. In 2010, I was actually working as a radio personality out of Columbus, Georgia. That's where I graduated from Columbus State University. And around that time, I went through a lot of, I would say, a lot of roadblocks in my life at that time. And I actually, bust through those roadblocks. I finished school and I got hired at, my dream job, radio personality. I was doing that. And at the time I wanted to write a book at the time, and it didn't work out at that time. And fast forward 10 years, I moved to LA to pursue more so of the radio opportunities. I worked at CBS, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to actually write this book. And so I wrote a book, actually during the pandemic, and I published it on August 9th, 2021.
Oh yeah, the good old days of the pandemic gave you a chance to like sit down and be a little bit more creative. The people that had to sit down, if you didn't get a chance to, I mean, if you didn't take the opportunity to just actually sit down and do something, that's pretty much your fault. Most of the people got to pay a little money just to sit down.
Right. That's right, man. Yeah, man, I tell people, man, I mean, the pandemic was terrible for a lot of people. A lot of people lost a lot of loved ones. But for the most part, man, a lot of people really got the time that they needed to kind of sit back and sit still and really think about their next move and, stack their money and, come out of the pandemic winning, and a lot of people took advantage of that opportunity, but a lot of people didn't too. So it's up to you how you spent your time, man. But that pandemic for a lot of people was a big blessing. But I know too that pandemic was hard on a lot of people as well. A lot of people losing people, and but I definitely try to look at the best parts, if I can say that. I kind of look at the I guess the best parts of the pandemic, having that time by yourself and really thinking about your next move and contemplating and having that time too, because everything was shut down, just to really get things in order, So, I took advantage of the pandemic, man. I was always busy. I was at home. I was working on my book. I was writing. At the time too, I had put out I had just finished my documentary series. I did a screening for that. And so I was busy the whole pandemic, man.
Man, you're most definitely right about that. I can say, yeah, during this time period, I actually made the most money in my life during that time period because of the moves that I made like a few years beforehand.
That's
But
what's up.
my pockets is crazy right now, man. Not bragging, but them things I put in place to do what it's supposed to do. And also during that time period, I launched a couple podcasters here. Do some right here, the Riders Book Club, and also Hey You Should Inside Voice, and also recently my musical podcast, which is What's Playing Now, which is from the last few years,
Okay.
come together to out here doing my thing, man. It's like a plug and play right now, but unfortunately, we lost a lot of people. Rest in peace to them as well. They're in a better place right now. They don't have to deal with this mess that we're dealing with right now. But for the folks that had a plan, made something happen during that time period, shout out to you guys as well.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to you too, man. Like you said, you made some good moves, man, to set you up, man. Now you reaping what you sow, So yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that took advantage of that opportunity, man. It's hard to believe that was 3 years ago.
Man, it
But
was like a blur, man.
I know that's crazy, right? That was 3 years ago, man. The pandemic it seemed like it was last year, but it was actually 3 years ago. So time flies, man. So, with me, man, I'm always planning and staying focused on moving forward, moving my business forward, and just making the right moves. So my pockets can stay full,
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. Shout out to the people that was scamming. They did the best scams ever in history. Some people got caught and some people got away with it. Shout out to you guys as well. You guys was creative as well.
Yeah,
it's gonna come my way.
Yeah. PPP, man. PPP.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. I mean, I wish I would have got some. I mean, I could have got some of that money, but I would have felt pretty bad, man.
I mean, the government was giving it out, So, if you took advantage of it and you did what you were supposed to do, then hey, salute to you. If you was scamming and scheming and you blew it, you just lost something there, man. Because that would never ever happen again, ever. They never would give that. They would never give us that money again like that.
Man, even if you had like a regular job, some of the retirement plans let you get almost most of your money out without no penalties back then.
Yeah.
I know at my job with the retirement plan, man, somebody was cashing down it all the way out, man. I'm like, dang, you got to retire like here in a little bit. You know that, right? But everybody want to get a G-Wagon, man. You know how it is in Atlanta.
Yeah. Everybody living the life, man. Everybody living the life. I just posted a post on social in my story actually, and it's I don't know who it was, but I just reposted it. But the lady was talking about how 10 years ago she was having this conference and she was admired by one of the people on her page that she was following, and the person on her page was always wearing Louis Vuitton, had the red bottoms, hair was fly, and so the lady reached out to her. She was like, hey, I follow you. I want you to speak at my conference. And the lady was like, I wish I could, man, but about to be evicted. I'm sleeping over my friend's house on the couch. And then the morning before, that lady posted, she was in the street with her Louis Vuitton again bag, but it just show you that, Instagram is a facade, 98% of what you see on Instagram is a facade. It's a perception that people put out into the world, man. But, just saying all that to say, everything that you see, is not really what you think it is,
Yeah, you most right about that, man. Wow, people, you feel kind of bad for them just a little bit because they're losing now, but at the same time, like, man, you had all this going on. You didn't think about saving something for a rainy day or like something?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's real. Like I said, man, salute to the people who actually, did something with that. They started a business. They did something with it, So if you definitely want to take that money, man, do something with it, man.
Oh, you right about that, man. Let's actually kind of go over some of the experts through the book and everything. I'm just going to ask a few questions. Yeah, I have a bunch of scraps that I've been working on for a while. So I was going to put out these couple books and everything. Mm-hmm. What are the roadblocks kind of keep people from doing stuff sometimes? Basically trying to write a book.
Well, I say the first thing is mindset. I think anything that you try to accomplish, the very first thing or the very first hurdle is, shifting your mind. That's actually the foundation of Become Inspired, my book. Before you do anything, you have to shift your mindset. So that means, getting around the right people, watching or being mindful of what you watch on television, all that stuff consumes the mind. So, having the right mindset and then having that discipline attached to it and then just doing the work. I say, writing a book is 50% mindset, 30% discipline, and then 20% doing the work. But if you don't have that mindset, you can't get to the discipline part. If you don't get the discipline, you're not going to do the work, so writing a book, it's not so much as hard. It's really just mindset. If you really want to do this, you can't make excuses and say, I don't have time to write. Yes, you do have time to write. Everyone's busy, but at the same time, people make exceptions on what they're going to focus on and what they're not going to focus on. So if you look at your schedule and you really dissect your schedule, you'll see that you have a lot of time that you spend on unproductive activities, maybe watching TV, watching Netflix, on social media. So you take that out of your schedule and you replace that, with writing your book for 2 hours. Yeah, I just made a post about that too. People say that they don't have time writing a book, and it's all about, if you have 2 hours, 5 days a week, a minimum of 500 words, 500. You do that for 5 days a week, and for a week that's 2,500 words. You do that for a month, that's 10,000 words. You do it for 12 weeks, that's 30,000 words. So you can possibly finish with your book in 12 weeks, which is 3 months. And remember, 500 minimum word count. That's just the bare minimum. Some days you'll write just 500. Some days you'll write 1,000 or 1,500. So by the end of 12 weeks, you can possibly have 40 to 45,000 words. Okay. So like I said, to answer your question though, it's all about mindset, mindset, shifting your mindset, really putting stuff in your mind to really, change how you perceive things and, building that discipline and doing the work.
And since you put it that way, that sounds very easy, man. I know a lot of people that want to write a book or do anything. They look at the big old number and stuff like, dang, how the heck I'm going to write 45,000 words? Or sometimes it'd be like 50,000 words or more. Because of your breakdown, I mean, you can get it done pretty quick. You just got to be a little bit more patient in it. Just do it a little bit at a time and go from there.
That's it. Because the thing about that model, the 2-5-500 model, is that, anything that we do, anything that we're trying to accomplish, you got to take baby steps, right? Because sometimes we look at things as like we trying to get all the way down the road, but we like 20 miles down, you know what I'm saying? So just take baby steps to get down that way. And with that method, like I said, it's just 2 hours, just 2 hours a day, you find 2 hours, you block off 2 hours, and you just writing a minimum of 5. That's realistic. A minimum goal of writing 500 words. That's not a lot of words. So it's realistic. You can do it. Some days, it'll be tougher than other days just to get 500. But some days, your mind, your creativity is just gone. You probably have 1,500, 2,000 words in that 2 hours, So, just breaking things down to really simplify it, and then you'll see yourself. I always like to say, success is progress. Okay. So the fact that you are making progress, you'll see yourself as success. And then you'll be on that momentum. So it's like a momentum wave that you're riding on, because you're like, dang, I got 10,000 words. Dang, I got 12,000 words. Dang, I got 15,000. You want to keep going because you're on that momentum wave, so that's what I teach too, man. When I teach people, how to write, nonfiction books, high quality nonfiction books. But that's the first thing I teach them is, break it down, really simplify it. You do this, you follow this model for 12 weeks, you'll come out easily just doing a bare minimum with 30,000 words. Easy,
Dang, yeah, you're right about that, man. Even during the day, man, people probably use more words than that in text messages and stuff like that on social media. They just be typing away all day long. Why not channel that energy into something positive to make you some money?
Right.
Or at least try to help somebody out with your story.
I mean, the thing about, writing a book is you know, you're not only transforming that reader's life, but you're also transforming your life. So what a lot of people don't think about is the fact that you're sharing, like, because anytime, like, okay, I wrote a book on Become Inspired, is basically, sharing my experiences on how I was able to keep myself inspired throughout the entertainment industry. Okay, because working in the entertainment industry, it'll break you down if you don't have tough skin. So you got to keep your yourself inspired somehow. So that was my life experience I was sharing with the world, and everyone has a particular life experience to share, some type of expertise. Actually, having that life experience makes you an expert, in that particular topic. Okay, so again, writing a book is just not for that reader, but it's also for you because it can change your life. You can really launch pad your business off of one book, off of your book. Okay, if you're teaching someone how to solve a problem, you're teaching someone how to accomplish a goal. Okay, you can then take that book that you successfully publish and then begin to turn chapters into an online course. Okay, you can then build a some type of community or mastermind group, where you're charging high ticket clients to be a part of this particular group. All right, so it's so many, like I said, writing a book is so transformational for the reader as well as the author in so many ways. But you gain a lot of confidence when you write a book, because 81% of people want to write a book. This is a real stat. 81% of people want to write a book, but out of that 81%, only 2% do it, because it takes that discipline, it takes that mindset. So, it takes doing the work. So when you actually, publish your book, and you actually at that book launch, that's like a once in a lifetime. I was just talking about that with a friend. That's a once in a lifetime experience, because it's like, man, I did it. Like I wrote this book, because people know how, like I said, it's not even hard. It's just discipline and this mindset and it's doing the work. But when you get over that hump and you publish your book and you get those books in the mail, your first set of books in the mail, you're like, man, I did it, man. You go to your book launch, man, I did it. That's a proud moment. Okay, so again, writing a book is transformational for the author as well as the reader. You're going to be want to do more things, after you publish your book. Then that gets you into speaking. Like you found me. I'm doing an interview here. So writing a book, it puts you in a lot of different mediums. Podcasting and TV and interviews and speaking engagements. So you continue to build your brand. And starting that business. Okay, so it's very transformational. To wrap that up.
Yeah, you're most definitely correct on that. It's, basically what you say with that, it's like graduating from something from school or whatever. Once you put all the hard work into it, you get celebrated. I'm like, yeah, I did that, man. It was
Right.
like other times you felt like quitting, but like, you know what? I was motivated. Let me go ahead and just keep on going. And once you achieve that goal, voila, you got it. You did it.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you said before, once you finish that, it basically give you like the confidence to do a bunch of other stuff to achieve it.
That's it, man. Because I'm pretty sure you've experienced that too, man. You probably accomplished something that you thought was pretty tough for you or hard for you to accomplish, but once you accomplish that goal, you're like, I know I can do this. Then it just keeps propelling you forward and keep tackling bigger goals, bigger tasks. That's how we grow as individuals. But the moment that we are fearful of trying to accomplish something, it holds us back. We're not becoming the person that we need to be. We're not growing. We're staying stuck. So I always challenge myself, man, to grow, man. And like I said, writing a book, it has grown me tremendously, and it's definitely going to do the same for someone else. Because again, 81% of people want to write a book, but out of that 81%, only 2% will actually write one. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's facts on that. I got a few other questions on this. What's the power of patience?
Patience, man. Oh man, patience is definitely a virtue. I think for me in my life, early in my life, being a radio personality and being in that whole industry, entertainment industry, it's tough, man. And you got to have a lot of patience, man. But it, it, having patience is definitely a skill that has to be learned. You know, you definitely have to appreciate your journey. Okay, you really got to appreciate your journey, the things that you're learning along the way, who you're becoming along the way, to really understand patience. And over the years, that's something that I had to do for myself. I just, to this day, I anything that I accomplish or my journey to accomplishing anything, I'm focused on the journey of who I'm becoming and um, and basically, I lost my train of thought because there's this plane going by. But basically, who I'm becoming. Because in that journey, you're learning so much. And that's what I want to say. In that journeying phase of anything you're trying to accomplish, you're learning so many different skills. You're learning new things. All that stuff is really building you and molding you into the person that you need to be for your bigger purpose. So I guess for me, that's how I look at anything that I'm trying to accomplish in the long run. So, like I said, man, patience is a virtue. You don't understand it at first, but when you look in hindsight, you understand why, God, had you wait for so long because you wasn't ready for it. You wasn't ready for that blessing. You wasn't mature enough. If God would have dropped it on your lap when you wanted it, you would have lost it all. And we witnessed that too with so many people who win a lottery. They win $50 million and they go broke within like 5 years. You know NBA players, football players, they get all this money. There's a time and a place, man, and you got to trust God's timing in everything that you do, man. And I had to learn that, man. It took me a while to learn that, but like I said, now I just look at my journey and I just enjoy the journey that I'm on. And I'm like, man, I'm learning something. I always feel good when I feel like I'm learning, because learning keeps you growing. I always want to grow. So, but definitely, man, patience is a virtue for sure.
Yeah, you most definitely right about that. I know with our people, we're not patient on a lot of stuff. We try to rush in everything, and it comes out with like bad results. If we just wait just for a little bit, it'll work itself out for the long run. But also, you have to visualize yourself succeeding as well. Then, right?
Absolutely, man. You got to see it you got to see it before it's even there, man. I'm telling you, man. Like I talked about in that book, like I visualized my book launch. I visualized, everything, and everything that took place with that book launch. It was like 10 times better than what I visualized. But I had this nice layout. I rented out this nice studio with LED screen. Had my photo shoot up there with holding my book with my tuxedo. It was nice. It was like a live production, but I visualized that. I also talk about in the book too how I visualized myself taking home the best short film, the best short documentary film. But you got to visualize things even before it happens, man. It's just that manifestation. And that I talk about too in the book how it's important for you to talk about your goals, like speak about your goals. Always talk about it. Share with somebody, or you would share with a like-minded person. Don't share with someone who's going to shoot it down, but share with somebody who's like-minded, like you, who's ambitious and they think and dream big. That's important, man, because when you speak it, you manifest that stuff, man. And it's just so true, man. You have to see it though. If you can't see where you're going, then how you gonna know where you're going? How you gonna know that destination? But you have to visualize it first.
Oh man, that's a great answer like that. I like that, man, very much. Yeah, your book is very inspiring, man. It's not
Appreciate
that
that, man.
long to be. It's not that long to be honest about it, but
It's
man, it's
not.
enough information to do what you need. I mean, I know a lot other people that does stuff like this. It's just like a Bible almost, you know. But on your end of it, it gives you where you need to go, and bam, it'll get you out there.
That's it, man. A short read, short reads are good, man. I think my book is like 169 words. I mean, I'm sorry, 169 pages. It's a short read, and I like to that's what I teach my students too, is like, you don't have to have this big book that has, 60,000, 70,000 words, people actually like short reads. Get in, you get out, you learn information, you get out and implement that information, and you go ahead and get the next book. But I really appreciate that, man. I definitely want to have. I didn't plan on having a long book. Actually, when I write my next book, I'm pretty sure it'll be around the same length, probably 199 pages, 169 pages, something like that, man. But I just believe in getting in and getting out. Saying what you have to say, teaching people what you have to teach, and get out. Doesn't have to be lengthy. So yeah, I appreciate that though.
Oh yes, sir. Tell us where we can find your book at and everything else you have going on.
Oh yeah, so you can get my book on Amazon if you just type in "Become Inspired: Your Next Steps," or you just type in "Become Inspired" and then Jaystyles. You can definitely it'll come up on Amazon. You can go to any Barnes and Noble in the store. You can go to any Barnes and Noble, go to the customer service desk, and then just say, I want to order "Become Inspired: Your Next Steps," the Jaystyles. And then they'll come up in their system. They'll order it for you. They'll ship it to your house. It takes like maybe 2 days, 3 days, or you can just have them ship it to that store. Then also too, I have a website. My website is www.becomeinspiredbook.com. So that's 3 places: Amazon, my website, Barnes and Noble.
Oh man, that'll work right there. Like you said before, while you was visualizing how your book launch and everything else wanted to be, I got to give it to you, man. Some people's hit me in the inbox. I'm like, man, who is that dude that you're going to interview? They like you had their tux on, man. You was tough in there, man. I mean,
I
it was kind of
appreciate it.
gangster, you know what I'm saying? But you
Hey
had the
man,
all white on.
I appreciate you, brother. Hey, we brothers, man. We look good in that all white, man. Something about that all white. We put on that all white, man. We rock that all white. We make it look good, man.
Yeah, I do incorporate a lot of white in my wardrobe as well. But yeah, white is heavily, man, pretty much godly.
Yeah, man. I like that. I like
Things like
all
that.
white. I like that all white, man. I like all black too, man. But something about all white though, man. I just feel like our complexion with all white, it just looks. I don't know, man. It just looks good, man.
Man, they know our skin be glowing in that all white, man. We guys people, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying to tell you. So what are your final thoughts at this time, Jay?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I say, what are your final thoughts at this time?
My final thoughts. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
I would say my final thoughts, man. Go get it, man. Have that mindset. Before I would say, before you do anything, before you accomplish anything, you definitely want to develop your mindset because everything starts with the mind. If you don't develop that mindset, you won't be able to accomplish anything. So, develop the mindset. Watch what you're consuming on television. Start reading books. I remember at one time I was younger, of course, but I wasn't a reader. Now, man, I got a bookshelf behind me. Now I get so many books and I read so many books. That's because I crave for so much knowledge, of just learning, but that helps build my mindset, a lot of self-help books, self-development books, so just really work on your mindset and believe too that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to, crush down those false limits and beliefs that you have about yourself, really knock down that wall. And it's all about acknowledging that limiting belief and then, coming up or adopting a new belief for that. Because a lot of times that belief that you're feeling is false evidence appearing real. That's what fear stands for, acronym, false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Okay, fear. Okay, so you really got to acknowledge that limiting belief and then you want to adopt a new one on top of that. So, for example, instead of saying, you know, I want to write a book, but I'm not a good writer, you would say something to the fact as, you know, I'm going to write this. I don't have to be a good writer, but I have a story to convey. Okay, so you just shifted that mindset that you was thinking. Okay, you were saying that you want to write a book, but you're not a good writer. Now say, like I said, you want to say, I don't have to be a good writer to write this book. I'm just conveying my message. Okay, so you're adopting just a new belief. So this is all about mindset and crushing down that wall, man. And you know, lastly, man, you know, discipline, and then, you know, doing the work. And anything that you do, man, mindset, discipline, doing the work, that's going to follow you to the grave.
Oh man, I like that, man. On that note, I'm gonna chop it up with you for a few minutes before we get up out of here, boy. Of course. Oh yeah, let me pop on screen real quick. Where I go? Oh yeah, of course, it's Mr. Old School Rider from the Writers Book Club. You know, you can find me on YouTube and Instagram at the Writers Book Club. Also, my other page, my regular page, which is Mr. Old School Rider, the way that is spelled it, the way you see it as well. And Mr. Jay Styles, man, we do appreciate you for coming through on the Writers Book Club here tonight. Make sure you go to his links, buy his books and merchandise and everything else. You can support this man right here. He out here putting that work, man, for everybody.
Absolutely, man. And hey, I mean, I appreciate you having me on, brother, and thank you for reaching out. And guys, also too, man, you know, I'm teaching others how to, you know, write high quality nonfiction books. So definitely, if you're interested in me helping you write that book that you always wanted to write, you know, share that life experience, share that expertise, share that story. Definitely hit me up. Email, just hit me up, jay at aspiringauthors.change.com. All right. And then hit me up. And definitely, I definitely want to help you write that nonfiction book.
Oh man, that'll work right there, Jay. Hang on one second, but yeah, you guys will see y'all later on the next Riders Book Club with me, Mr. Old School Rider, and Jay Styles. We're over and we out and hanging right there, my guy, right there.